Well, welcome to this APPA service provider catch-up. My name is Wesley Fawaz and I'm the CEO of APPA. Today I'm joined here by Paul Bergman, and Paul is the founder of a startup company called Promotional Network. As you would all know, I'm fairly new to the role here as the CEO of APPA, but I've had the opportunity to meet Paul a few times now in that short journey. I've really been motivated by his passion for the industry and what he's doing with Promotional Network. So Paul has come in to talk more with APPA in terms of how we can collaborate together, and we're going to share some of Paul's experiences over the years, over his career, over his journey, and what he's currently doing with Promotional Network. So Paul, welcome. Thanks for your time today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Let's go back to your younger days, Paul, when you first sort of joined the industry. You would have been fresh out of school or fresh out of university, or maybe even a few years into your career.
Or dropping out of law school.
Dropping out of law school, there you go. So what encouraged you, or what attracted you to the industry initially?
Absolutely nothing. If I have to be completely honest, I was doing it to help pay for school. So it was a side job I had, and I had no idea about promo, and I got into it and fell in love with it, and kind of just stuck.
Yeah, well, I have heard a few members mention to me already that it is an industry that they have fallen into. They didn't plan to come in, but once they have entered into the market or the industry, they've absolutely loved it, and they've stayed there for a long time.
Yeah, it's a fun industry. It's changing, so that's a very, very positive thing.
Yeah, great. Okay. So some of our viewers or members may have caught on that you're an American accent there. You moved to Australia in recent years, and
4.5 years ago now.
Okay, and what attracted you to Australia?
You know, same thing. It's the same way that I fell in love with the promo industry. I came out here on a holiday for 2 weeks, which is not enough time, but it's a very American holiday, and fell in love. And got back and was like, I need to spend more time there, and found a way, and stayed.
Okay. And so what was your promo experience in America?
I was supplier and distributor. So I started off at the very bottom of the ladder. I was a customer service rep at a supplier, and I worked my way up, and I ended there as a VP of sales, and then went to work for a distributor. And I was a VP or director of sales and marketing for a distributor for 4 years. So I've had a bit of both.
Okay. And when you came to Australia, you've settled here in Melbourne, and I believe you worked with promo brands for a while?
I did, which was high caliber, and then promo brands.
Okay.
And true story, fun fact, my first day in Melbourne was the actual day before I started work. So when I took the job and relocated out here, I had actually been to Australia and visited Sydney and Cairns, but I had never been to Melbourne.
Right.
So my very first arrival here was right before I started working.
Yeah, very courageous move.
A little bit, yeah. Or crazy.
And so what have you noticed in terms of the difference between the industries in America versus Australia?
The industry here is a lot more personal, but so is business in general, which I think is amazing because the promo industry is already a bit personal. And other than that, I think that there's a little bit more competition in the States, and it drives a little bit more uniqueness, or I don't know the right term to use, a lot more variety is probably a better way to say it, of products out there. But the industry here is catching up. As bigger companies rise and there becomes a little bit more competition and people carry more products, you start to see that variety pick up as well. So at first I would say that the variety was the biggest difference, but it seems to be changing.
Okay. So let's move on to your current project, Promotional Network. A startup company, you're obviously putting a lot of hours into that new project at the moment.
Yes.
What was the initial idea or concept? What gap in the market did you see? What sort of opportunity arose?
Well, one thing that I saw and one thing that we're dedicated to is helping distributors market. So I know that a lot of the distributors out there are phenomenal at building relationships, are excellent at actioning opportunities, but a lot of them don't have time to market. And I think a lot of us are guilty of that. Even with Promotional Network now, sometimes we forget to send out an email or to talk about what we're doing. And I think that is a common challenge for a lot of people. You get very consumed in your day-to-day work and what you're doing, and you forget to be out there promoting yourself. So we wanted to create an opportunity to help distributors without them having to do a lot of work and have this kind of silent partner on their side that was paying attention to what all the suppliers were doing, looking at all the catalogs out there, and giving them marketing material that they could go and present to their customers every single month.
Okay, right. And so how far into the business are you now? How long's it been?
Just now 6 months.
Okay.
So very, very new still.
Right. And what are your longer plans with the company and the project? Is it to expand on your current service offerings, or?
I think for us, our big goal is to have an amazing network of distributors that we work with and keep it fairly small. You know, we want to give back to the industry. So I think our further developments and things that we look forward to the future is what can we do for all distributors beyond the ones where we're assisting with just marketing. And that's things like providing a digital library of all the supplier catalogs out there. And you know, articles and industry news and things of that nature and to be a resource for people.
Sure. Okay, right. And just moving on now to the current climate. So Australia and the world is experiencing a global epidemic, global crisis at the moment.
Yes.
And it's hurting all economies, all industries, and especially the promo industry. You got any messages out there for the APPA members, or some wise words on how they can approach the next few months?
Yes. Well, everybody should be washing their hands. Wes and I are practicing, you know, some distancing here today. But more importantly, you got to stay top of mind and stay relevant. So one of the big things that's happening right now and that I know brands are being challenged with is if there's no one coming into stores and there's nobody placing orders, how are we connecting with our customers? We don't have events going on. We're not seeing, you know, the store traffic. And the same advice goes for the brands that would go for the distributors, and that is you need to find a new way to connect with your customers. So, you know, digital options, mailing, deliveries, and that's great for promo items, for people who are, you know, brands that want to send things out to their customers. I think that's incredibly positive. And distributors right now, I feel like their main role is to be the cheerleaders of those actions. You know, to really get out there and talk to the customers that they have and remind them this isn't, you know, the end of the world. The economy will reboot, and in the meantime, you don't want to lose, you know, relevance with your customers. You don't want to lose contact with them. So, what can we do to keep you, you know, connected to your customer base? You know, and then present ideas. You know, there have been some brilliant articles out there that some distributors have written, and I know that APPA has posted some on LinkedIn about, you know, putting together care kits. And putting together mailable promotional items that brands can use to connect with their customers. And I think that that's going to be the immediate future and, you know, a very big thing that distributors could be promoting right now.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thanks for that. I was also speaking to a distributor just yesterday who has a client who is providing care kits for their staff who are working from home at the moment. So it's a great opportunity to come up with some new initiatives during these times, for sure. So just moving on to APPA now, Paul. APPA is a great avenue for our members to get involved with specifically in terms of offering volunteer opportunities. I understand that you were a volunteer for the California Promo Association when you were in the USA.
Yeah.
So what sort of opportunities did you have as a volunteer there, and what sort of message again would you give to APPA members that, you know, APPA is here, we are looking for volunteers. It's a great opportunity to build your network and really guide where the association is going in the next few years?
I think activity is the only way to keep a network alive. And so if you know, have people that are participating, writing articles, sharing their experiences, talking about the challenges and their success stories right now, I think that one of the best ways to, you know, for an association to interact, especially during challenging times, is to communicate. You know, what's working, what's not working. The more that we share these experiences, the more that we can all benefit from it, and, you know, it becomes this level of education from peers. I think that's great, and so it's organizations like APPA that create these avenues where people can communicate. Publications, posting articles, and these are the kind of things that you can do to share information and to promote each other. Yeah,
that's correct. So APPA just announced today that we've opened up a Facebook group page for members to log in there and share ideas, share some concerns, open up some dialogue. And we'll also, I'll be facilitating some Zoom, coffee chats or member matters meetings next week. Again, just giving our members to have that opportunity to engage and discuss what's going on around the world today.
Great.
So Paul, thank you very much for your time. I won't shake your hand, but we can give the old elbow punch there. But look, thanks for your time again. Look forward to working with you further in the future.
Of course.
And which APPA members will soon hear about. But thank you for your time and watching this video. And hopefully I can bring some more service provider interviews and member interviews to our APPA members in the near future.
Thanks, guys.